Hello everybody and welcome to my Vulcun CSGO Fantasy predictions. That's right guys, you've been asking for it. I asked the other day if you guys wanted to see this and it was an overwhelming yes by you guys. So here are my Vulcun Fantasy picks for Dreamhack Cluj-Napoca. I just want to say real quick, if you haven't signed up for Vulcun already, you can click the link in the description. It helps my channel out when you sign up. It is a code, or you can just all you have to do is click the link. Or if you don't want to click that, I guess you can sign up. Just go to vulcun.com, VULCUN, and then use the code ThatGuyChaos. But yeah, it's easier just to click the link, and it does help my channel out, and you can have a lot of fun playing some fantasy. So let's get into my picks. So first of all, I'll give you kind of my methodology and my reason as I go through as to why I made my picks in a certain way. So what I did was I said, this is a long tournament, right? You know, we're gonna have to see who goes all the way to the final, and the way you can really benefit is not by getting the players who average the most points, but by getting the players on the best teams, because even if they don't average that many points, they're gonna be all the way in the finals. So what I did was I went to Envious and TSM first. So if you look at Envious and you look at all the players on Envious, I decided to go with NBK because he's the highest scoring player on Envious and he's not too expensive and he has a very explosive ability, and I think that he's a great pickup. Then I went over to TSM. So TSM, the best player on TSM is Device, but because he is so expensive, I decided to save myself $200 and go with Dupree. By the way, that salary number, just so you know, is not like real life money. It's just like the player salary, and you have a $10,000 salary cap. It's like fake money. It's not real money. Don't worry, you don't need $10,000 to play a fantasy. But I decided to save $200 and get Dupree because, in my opinion, he is equally as explosive as Device. It's just Device, I think, is overall a little better. But for $200 less, I would rather pick up Dupree. And so the reason I picked up these two players first was because I think that it will probably be an Envious TSM final, as I said in my video yesterday. So I think that these two players will be in the final, which means that they get to play in the group stages, in the quarters, in the semis, and in the finals, which is obviously very beneficial. So now let's get on to my third pick. I went over to Fnatic, who basically has the next highest chance, I think, of making it to the final. And instead of picking up Olafmeister, I picked up Flusha, because in my opinion, Flusha is the best player on Fnatic. I think Olafmeister is very, very, very good, but Flusha actually gets more kills a lot of the times, and he has a very good kill-death ratio. So that is why I went with Flusha rather than Olafmeister, because he's cheaper and I think is actually a little better. So then I went to Virtus Pro, who I also think will probably be in the semi-finals, and I picked up Bialy because he is not only the highest scoring player on their team, but he is also the not the most expensive, right? He's actually third most expensive, even though he gets more points than the other players. I think he's a fantastic player, and he's very underrated in the CSGO scene, so I think he's definitely another great pickup. So now that I have my four main players that are on the four main teams that I like, now it was time for me, because I wasn't really worrying too much about money. Yeah, I was saving a little bit of money here and there, but I wasn't worrying too much about money. Now I have my four final picks where I do need to worry about money, right? So I took a bit of a risk and went with Zeus, and he has the lowest scoring average on Navi, but he has the potential to score a lot of points in certain games, and it's very likely that he will make it out of the group stages and into the quarterfinals. And I'm looking excuse me, I kind of balance things out, right? So Zeus is not a very high scorer, but he's very, very likely to make it out of the group stages and into the quarterfinals. I also picked up Nothing from Cloud9, who is one of the highest scorers right behind Shroud. I picked him up because he's a little cheaper than Shroud, right? He's one of the highest scorers for Cloud9, and he couldn't make it to the quarterfinals. I think that Cloud9 will, because I think that they'll beat Luminosity, and I think they'll beat Vex. I think they're better than both of those teams. But this one's a bit riskier, so that's why I picked up Zeus and Nothing, because they kind of counteract the risk. Zeus is almost guaranteed to make it to the quarterfinals. Nothing isn't really guaranteed. He's likely, but not guaranteed. But he's going to get a lot more points per game for me than Zeus will. So that's why I picked up those two players. Then that left me with just 2 players left. And so I... excuse me, I'm like coughing. Then I picked up Kiyoshima and Zipnix from Envious and TSM, because like I said, I think these are the 2 teams that will be in the final. So if I can pick up Kiyoshima for less than $1,100, that's ridiculous, right? Kiyoshima is a fantastic player. Kiyoshima averages 46 points per game for only for less than $1,100. That is the steal. You better have Kiyoshima on your team just for the price that he's at and the ability he has. You need to pick up Kiyoshima. And then I picked up Zipnix because he's also another very explosive TSM player. He has some games where he will drop 30 bombs and others where he'll only score 10 or 15. But if he averages maybe 20 kills per game throughout the entire tournament all the way to finals, he would be a great asset to have on my team that cost me less than $1,200. So yeah, those are basically my picks. Let me know what you guys think of my picks, and who do you think, I mean, you don't have to follow this exactly if you don't want. I mean, you can change some things out, like the Zeus and Nothing. Those are 2 kind of risky people to have, but I think that they will be worth it in the end to me. Let me know, who do you think will be going furthest in the tournament, and who do you think will be scoring the most points? Just let me know in the comments, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Be sure to sign up for Vulcun if you haven't already. Like I said, it does help my channel out when you sign up using my code, so be sure to use the link in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys later.